welcome to another episode of From the Green Room. I'm Brian Zelmer, Director of KU Presents at Kutztown University here in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, and I'm coming to you from our green room. Just so you know, this conversation that we have every week, you're welcome to be part of it. So make sure whether you're tuning in on Facebook or on YouTube, just enter your remarks or questions into the comments section and we'll try to make them part of the show too. Before we get started though, we're so excited that we are returning to live in-person performances in some capacity with our Arts Alive series. And while we did already have our first one this last Friday, there's 2 more chances to come see shows. So I'm just gonna play a quick little video for you so you can see what's coming up.
KU Presents is excited to announce the return to live, in-person performances with a series titled Arts Alive. This series includes 4 performances over the course of the last 3 Fridays in April. You can attend these outdoor performances in person or virtually from anywhere via the live stream. While this series is free and open to the public, tickets will be required to maintain capacity limits for in-person and to obtain the access link for joining digitally. We kick things off on Friday, April 16th with the Irish and Celtic music of Poor Man's Gambit. Then, on Friday, April 23rd, we explore iconic rock and pop songs from the 60s and 70s as they are reimagined through jazz with the group Living Standards. And on Friday, April 30th, we present a double feature, starting the evening with the Latin rhythms of the Tierra Caliente. Quiero agua sin hielo. Quiero agua sin hielo. And we close the evening and our short series with a contemporary ballet performance by Sharp Dance Company. The performances begin at 6 p.m. each week. Get your tickets now or learn more by going to kupresents.org. That's kupresents.org. And we'll see you at Schaefer.
So if you're interested in finding out more about Living Standards, which is the jazz group coming up this Friday, go back and see a couple episodes ago. We interviewed the group, and it was a really cool experience. So, but today we're going to talk to the artistic director of the Sharp Dance Company, which is performing on the 30th of this month. And so let me introduce Diane, and we'll bring her into the program. Diane Sharp, is it Nation? I'm sorry, I should have asked.
Knopson, like Jackson.
Knopson. Thank you, Diane. Diane Sharp-Nachsin danced professionally with several companies from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia to Amsterdam. She founded Sharp Dance Company in 2006, and the company has performed over 30 U.S. cities, as well as internationally in the U.K., Greece, and Italy. Hi, Diane. Good to see you again.
How are you? Great. Good
Doing
to see
great.
you.
So how excited are you about coming and bringing your company for live in-person performance?
We are so excited. We haven't performed since January of 2019 when everything closed down. Wow. And the last time we performed, it was a blizzard where we were performing. But the audience still came. God bless them. So it's nice that we're going to be performing in the spring and outside. So we're excited. We'll
talk more about the performance in a minute, but I wanted to know a little bit more about you. You in your bio, it talks about you being a professional dancer at one time. When did you get the dance bug? Like, how did you get so to the point where you knew this is what you wanted to do as a career?
You know, I think that I literally have pictures of me choreographing when I was a kid. I was only like 6 years old, and I used to drag my 2 cousins into my Christmas show. And so literally, I think that was the starting point. I always loved the choreographing aspect. So went to college, graduated college, and I started dancing up in Pittsburgh for Pittsburgh Ballet Theater had a resident contemporary company called Mary Miller. And I did that and danced for her. And then I came back to Philly and I danced in Philadelphia and finished my career fairly early at 32. But by the time I was there, I was already choreographing for my company that I was dancing for as assistant director. And that's really what I wanted to do. So I started the company. I took maybe 2 years off, and my dancer friends were like, okay, it's time. And I founded Sharp in 2005. And we started our first performance in 2006, and it's been rolling ever since.
Now, I know you had mentioned, and it's on your website and everything about your bio, that you stopped dancing at a younger age because you had a serious injury. And for those that don't know, my wife was a professional ballerina, and she also suffered a serious injury that made her choose to retire at a younger age too. Just curious, because I know how difficult that could be. I'm hearing an echo, sorry. I know that did it take some time for you to accept the fact that you weren't going to be a professional dancer anymore, or did you already just kind of know that I want to do something else at this point?
You know, in the end, I was in so much pain that it just stopped being the performance that I wanted. I had a really bad Achilles injury. And, you know, they told me that maybe I would be able to go back. And I did. I did PT for almost 2 years to come back for one more year so that I felt like I was emotionally ready to leave then, because it was very traumatic. But, you know, the pain in performing just started to outweigh, like, my nervousness of getting on the stage to whether or not my ankle was going to hold was just really just too much. And so I kind of took about 2 years to breathe. And then I realized how much I missed it. And so I decided to start my own company.
The good thing about having that retirement at a young age, though, is you get to be young enough to pursue a new career or a new track. And so you started out, as you mentioned, the dance company in 2005, and in 2006 you had your first performance. You know, you've been around for 15 years now, so obviously you found some success.
Yeah.
But you opened up a company in a place like in Philadelphia where there's already established companies around. How did you, like, what do you think you laid as your foundation to either make your mark as something different and unique, or did you find a way to partner with them and, you know, to be a complementary thing to what's already existing there? Like, what do you think the recipe for your success is all these years?
I think there's a lot of different aspects. The one thing about Philadelphia, it's very diverse. So you have a very kind of postmodern movement quality of dance, and then you have like a more technically driven, more contemporary type of avenue. So even though there's such a diverse, you know, even though there's so many artists, it still gives us the opportunity to kind of have your own voice. And it was slow in the beginning. I mean, we took a lot of, you know, very low paid, no pay, just get our name out there wherever we could. Every time we were invited to perform, we especially try to be socially conscious. So anytime anybody asks us for a charity event, we always want to do that if we can give back. So that was a big thing for us. So we started in that way. And I think the other thing is that Sharp is not a pickup company, meaning that a lot of companies will hire someone for a brief amount of time or a specific project. And I really feel that when a dancer is on stage and they really care about each other and know each other, and that there is something, you just can't fake that. And it's just, and I don't think it arrives right away. And so since I had the company, I have always had people that have been with me for a long time. So 3 of my company members right now are 8 years, 10 years, and 11 years.
Wow. Wow.
And since they're performing, I'll say they started when they were 15, but they really did it.
So how did you, when you first opened up, and we should mention too that you're a contemporary company that does modern dance. How did you get your first dancers when you weren't known yet, you know, other than maybe dancing yourself? But
so I really found that I care so much about the personality of a dancer. I really do, because it's someone you want to work with. No one's ever making $9 million doing this job. And so you really want to enjoy the people that you work with. So in the beginning, once I hired, I had 8 to start right away, because I had some friends that really were pushing me to, you know, audition and get it started and pushing the company. And then after that, for the first couple of years, I tried to do it through people I knew. So if I had a dancers know dancers. So I would they knew what I wanted. They knew what I liked. They had been dancing with me for a few years. So that is how I originally doing it. To be honest, I'm having a upcoming audition, and I hate auditions. I really do, because, you know, I really want to get to know the people more. And I hate to say no to anyone because they're a great dancer. They just might not be exactly what my aesthetic is. So now we do like real call them in auditions. But in the beginning, it was more, a dancer knew a dancer, and then I would bring just one or two people in and choose from there. So we've always constantly had between 6 and 8, but more 8. At one point, we had like 11 dancers, which is amazing, but not when I have to write paychecks.
So for any young dancers out there tuning into this program and seeing it, besides seeking out quality training and practice, what advice can you give to somebody who's maybe thinking about their first audition? How do they find auditions? What are the do's and don'ts of the dance audition process? Oh, we lost it. You're muted.
Sorry. The number one thing I'm going to say is have a good reel. I'm having people auditioning to me right now. If you're an artistic director, you may get 30 applications in one day. And the moment you have to hunt for which dancer they are and are they in the back and which person, it just takes up time. So having a really good reel is number one, because right now with COVID, we had to have reels sent and made our first choices before I had an audition. So I've had to make cuts with just reels because we can only have a limited amount of people that are coming into the space, and we have had to spread that out over days. So that's number one. Have a really good reel. Have an updated resume. Know who you're applying for. If you're applying for a contemporary company, they want to see contemporary work. Don't get me wrong. I love to see a little ballet once in a while. So I know you get great technique, but I don't really need to see you tap dance. So I think really pigeonholing, what you want, especially in this COVID time when your first kite might be that reel.
So when the reel gets them seen and liked by you for the first initial stage, they come in for an in-person continuation, I'm assuming, of the audition. What should they do and not do in that part of it?
I think number one is be brave. So be brave. Don't hide in the back. Don't, not make eye contact. I mean, I'm looking at a room full of 30 people. So who am I noticing? That's part of it. You want to make sure you put your best foot forward. It was funny because one of my dancers was just talking to me about after my audition, she was so tired. She was doing her makeup and her legs were shaking because I've had so many auditions in my life where it's like a cut, like you do like a double pirouette and you leave. So I drove to New York and I got to turn once and no one got to, you know what I mean? Or you walk across the floor. So I really wanted to give the dancers an opportunity to dance in case you completely messed up the, audition. You got 5 more times to do it. I just think I got a little excited and I was like, you could do it again. You could do it again. And, I wound up killing them a little bit. So I'm going to try and pigeonhole that this time in my auditions in June.
Awesome. Well, you're bringing your company, as we said, on April 30th on Friday as part of our Arts Alive series. Last time I checked, there was only a few tickets left because we are limited to capacity for in-person, and we may be sold out.
Yeah, I was told you're sold out.
Yeah, we may be sold out now. I didn't check it all day. I've been on meetings, but people could still get the virtual stream. It's free, and people can check us out. It's going to be live streamed, so they should definitely go to kutztownpresents.org and check out the Arts Alive series. But can you just tell us a little bit about what you're bringing here, what pieces we're going to see?
Absolutely. So I was in Italy tour. I love Italy. And I was in Ravello, and there was this beautiful garden. And it had walkways, and they were building the stage out, and they were having all of this amazing entertainment and no dance, none. And I was like, this is such an amazing garden. So I decided that I wanted to make a garden tour. This is before COVID, years ago. And we received a residency in Greece at a place called the Living Garden. And so I took some dancers and we made the entire piece, the whole night of work, to be able to be performed at this one location. And within that material, we've added a few signature pieces, and we made a full night to be performed outdoor, and it can be performed on grass, or, we just wanted to keep the option so that next time there is a beautiful concert in Ravello, we can perform in that garden. It was just an idea. And now through COVID, it had made it a much more popular tour for us. And
awesome.
we're going to be showing a few different pieces. One of them is Blind Faith, which has been in our repertoire for a long time. And it was designed by Brian Strawn with a 34-foot long skirt.
Wow.
And it's pretty amazing. It's my most emotional opening. So we start really serious and then we end really funny.
So I think you have you submitted a clip for Blind Faith. Is that correct?
Yes.
Why don't we take a look at that real quick? Okay. Beautiful. And so you're bringing more than one, though, right?
Yes. So there is probably, I didn't count it out, but about 10 different pieces that weave together to tell the whole story. So there'll be 10 different sections that completely intertwine from one to the other. So another piece we're bringing is Flowers in the Storm, which I think you also have a video clip of. It was made when we were in Greece, and there was an original piece of artwork that an artist sent me, and that we constructed the piece, and it was a single flower in the corner of the stage. And sometimes when we perform it, we project it, and that was Flower in the Storm, and that will be performed by my assistant director, Sandra Davis. And I believe you have a video of her performing it on one of our tours.
All right, let's take a look.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, I love Sandra.
just because we don't have a ton of time, can you just tell us what else you have coming? And
Absolutely. So we are doing a little bit of a storyline you'll see within the piece. So we're being a piece with a bench. There's a piece called Women's Story, just the 4 women beautifully on these stools. We're also closing the show with one of my all-time favorites. It's a humorous piece, which is called Roller Coaster Rules. And
I think we have a photo of that.
Oh, do you? So that was one of my friends from college wound up being a professional voiceover, doing professional voiceovers. And so I had this idea of like all the rules that you get while we're riding a roller coaster. And I love to end a show with it because that's from Flowers in the Storm.
Okay. Okay.
And Roller Coaster Rules is basically a humorous joke about what it's like when someone's barking rules at you on a roller coaster ride. And it's like, it's just my favorite way to end a performance. We've put it in a couple times because the work is so serious and in times, and sometimes it's like fun and light, but sometimes it's so endearing that I just wanted something in the end that just makes you laugh.
Nice.
Hopefully.
That's the one with the 4 people in the chair, right?
Yes,
Pretty sure we have that one if we could pull that up there.
My dancers are going to kill me for showing that picture.
You can tell it's a funny piece though, just by that picture. So I can't wait to see it.
Fun. So much
That's great. So Diane, every week we have questions by our commercial music students, and even though we don't necessarily have a dance program here, there was a question that incorporates music. So when you collaborate with musicians for specific new dance works, what is the commissioning process? Do you, the dance company, seek out the musicians, or does the musician seek out the dance company, or is it done some other way? Can you talk about commissioning?
Absolutely. So I will say that anyone who's a composer, feel free to send me music. So the biggest problem, especially now with live streaming and rights and this and that it is easiest to just work with a composer and find a a price that works for you and that you can both show the work. I've had it done both ways. I've had people approach me, and then I've had that I'm looking for people. It's very interesting. I have a piece called 669, and I literally posted on Facebook that I was looking for music, and I wound up hiring a composer from Russia that somehow got connected and saw it and sent it to us, and so then we sent and had an agreement to do it. I
saw that, just to mention, 669 was a powerful piece. I got to see that one in person in Philadelphia. It's about the Holocaust, and really moving, really. Anyway, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad it touched you. That's what I like, But there's, just so in the show that you're going to see, there's a duet that was originally choreographed to different music. And we did a collaborative event about this woman. She has 2 special needs children. She's also a singer. And she wrote this song called Lonely Together about her struggles. And I was absolutely moved. Once again, it was a charity performance, so we did a video for them. But I loved the song so much that I changed the music and extended the duet, and that will be performed at the show that we're doing at Kutztown.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see the performances, and I know my audience is excited too. Just to remind everybody, Friday, April 30th, we have a double feature. We're starting the night off at 6 p.m. with a Latin group, and then we go into Sharp Dance Company. So I encourage everybody to tune in that can, and those who are coming, make sure you bring your chairs and blankets. Diane, is there any thing that we should know on how to follow you, how to learn more about Sharp Dance Company?
Absolutely.
A website, social media?
Yeah, we have Facebook and Instagram that we post everything that's going on for us. And also we like to post some funny updates. We are definitely a crazy family that likes to laugh together. So we have funny rehearsal things. And you can always visit us at sharpdance.org. And we're getting a brand new website built for us. So that'll be up in a few months.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Brian.
I'll talk to you soon. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Please be sure to subscribe, like, share, do whatever you can. If you didn't catch us live, feel free to still put in a comment if you want, and we'll try to get back to them and answer questions, or just, we'd love to see what you have to say. I want to thank Diane again for joining me as my guest today. And also to encourage you to tune in next week, next From the Green Room episode, we have comedian, actress, and singer Kate Flannery from NBC's The Office coming on to talk with us. So that'll be exciting. And again, you're always welcome to be part of the conversation. So anyway, until then, I'm Brian Zelmer, and I look forward to seeing you at Schaefer outside this Friday, as well as right here online, and every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. From the Green Room.